Yeah, my people, welcome back. You don't know, I'm here again to preview the Jamaican Premier League. You don't know, match day 18 is right here, right now. And guess what? People, bless upon yourself. Don't forget to support the local league. Yeah, it's very important to support our own local league. And you know, I want everyone to make sure that everyone is okay. You know, remember, if you're new, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Very important to like up the video, and it's very important. Yeah, just leave a comment. You know, tell me what you think. You know, in the upcoming fixtures for your favorite team. Yeah, but guess what? Last week, match day 17. 18 goals scored across all 7 games, yeah, and 2 big results in that match day 17. Liga got their first ever Premier League win of the season. Wow, that's a big one. Liga is going into a Premier League game on the back of a winning. Never happened before. So should they, you know, feeling confident? Should they, you know, going to the game against Cavalier, think that they can get something positive from it? Yes, I think so. Because why I think so? You know, Cavaliers and another team is not really scoring a lot of goals, yeah, but they're defending well and winning a lot of 1-0 games. But Liga should fancy themselves as they got a point from Cavalier last in the last game that they played at Jackson, a 1-1 game, a 1-1 draw. So let's see what's going to happen. But another big one, Arnett Garden lost again to Tivoli Garden last week at Stadium East, yeah, 3-1 defeat. The Junglers, you know, they took the lead by a Fabian Reid goal, and Tivoli team rally back with 10 men on the pitch. You know, big win, and Tivoli Garden have done the double over Arnett Garden. Jerome Wade, wow, what a story down there at Tivoli Garden, what Jerome Wade is doing with these mixture of young players and experienced players. You know, also Tivoli missed, you know, a couple key pieces, Nicolai, I think Nicolai Fuller and Barrington and Price, you know, and I think there's one more player they're missing, but they have done the double over Arnett. It's something that they haven't done for nearly a decade now. I think the last time it happened, it was 2016-2017 season, the season when Arnett Garden won the league. And who won it? Jerome Wade. Yeah, but I'm here now to move on to the preview of match day 18, and all 4 games going to play at Arnett Garden. I don't know why, don't ask me, but all 4 TV games will play at Arnett Garden Stadium. And guess what? Nowhere to start. Montego Bay versus Arnett Garden. Yeah, what happened, you know, last match day at the complex? Arnett Garden won that game 3-1. Yeah, the only goal scored by Montego Bay was Jean Clady. It was a penalty kick. You know, Shea Smith got a brace. I think Kimani Arbone scored on the day, but it's going to be a telling point for the Junglers traveling on the road. You know, not the best of the teams, you know, traveling on the road. I mean, I think Arnett Garden have picked up over 14 points on the road. You know, could be a little bit better, but the Junglers not so strong on the road this season. But Montego Bay is scoring a whole lot of goals, yeah. Montego Bay is scoring a whole lot of goals. They got 14 points at home, yeah, and beaten at home in 4 games. You know, and Mobay can go in the top 6 if result steer their way for the first time this season. As you know, they're 1 point away from that top 6, and that is their target. I remember when Nadia Dos Santos did his first post-game interview, you know, for the club, and he said he don't want this club just to be a team that, you know, just competing and win games. They want to go on and go to the top 6. That's their target, and they're making a late push as they see the team straighten over the winter period. You know, I would say winter period, but over the January transfer window, you know, in the Jamaican Premier League. Yeah, and Montego Bay is the 2nd highest scoring teams in the league at home. You know, Montego Bay have scored 16 goals at home this season. Yeah, so it's going to be really difficult for the Junglers down there, you know, at Westport Park. The last time the Junglers, you know, won away at Montego Bay home ground, it was back in 2019. I think Dina Williams scored for Montego Bay that day, and I think Zelana Barnes and Jamil Adrian scored. I think it was Jamil Adrian, you know, scored. Don't quote me on that Jamil Adrian one, but I know Zelana Barnes scored on that day, and another score. But I want to think it's it's Jamil Adre, yeah, scored for Arnett Garden. You know, that's the last time they won at Montego Bay home field. So Arnett Garden last 4 away games, 4 match play, 3 defeats, yeah, 3 defeats, and Arnett Garden have only scored 2 goals. You know, I've only scored 2 goals in those 4 games on the road, the last 4 games, and conceded 8. So when Arnett Garden is losing on the road, we saw what happened at Cavalier. You know, we saw what happened last match day against Tivoli, and they saw what happened at Ferdinand Park when Arnett Garden, you know, lose down there in Britain. So let's see what the Jungle is going to do. But we're going to move on. Dunfermline versus Treasure Beach. Wow. Dunfermline have made some massive signings, you know, over the last couple of days. Niqt Daly, the man that they call Power, yeah, and Martin Allen, the ex Arnett Garden player who was at Mount Pleasant, yeah, he only spent 6 months at the club, yeah, struggled to get game time. Saw they brought in Shaquille Bradford, yeah, they already have Atafai Bygrave, they have Okwesi Chung, so don't see where, yeah, I think he's a local boy. I think he's from down there at Ocho Rios too. So, you know, it's one of the things that, you know, he was always mentioned that, you know, he'd love to go back home to play for Mount Pleasant. But, you know, the 2 teams, you know, in this game, yeah, is searching for a win. As you know, Dunfermline scored at home against Portmore, but Portmore, as Stevie Young equalizer in the 75th minute, only gave Dunfermline a point, you know, in the Portmore derby. And Treasure Beach on the other side, a disappointed one. Omar Wedderburn resigned after the game, you know, going to hand over the baton to another coach just to see if he can bring in fresh ideas and everything in the game, yeah. But I must say, in that game, Treasure Beach have missed a lot of goals, you know. That first goal that missed, you know, Rafiki Brian, yeah, Rafiki, he missed that clear goal. It was a mistake in the back from Lima defenders, and he missed that one. And, you know, but Dunfermline on the other side, some key signings. I think Dunfermline is still on a winless run for the last 4 to 5 games now in the Premier League, yeah. And it's very key for them to bring in a striker, as, you know, they only scored, I think, 1 goal by a Dunfermline player in the last 5 games or 4, I think, and that was a goal that Travail Watkins scored against Portmore, you know, in match day 17. But when they played Mount Pleasant, you know, at their home stadium, Dunfermline Sports Complex, it was actually a own goal, you know, the goal that they got on Mount Pleasant. So it's a big window for Dunfermline. So let's see if Lenny Hyde can finally get things underway for Dunfermline. Remember, Power, Niqt Daly, he had experience playing at Cavalier, he had experience playing at Charleston, but, you know, he was at a little stint there at Cincinnati. So let's see if he can bring back all that experience to Dunfermline and make a late push, as Dunfermline is just, I think, you see that they joint on points with Waterhouse, but I think Dunfermline and Montego Bay is joint on the same points. I think 23, and Waterhouse is on 24. You know, it's up there. I'm gonna put it up there on the screen so you guys could see it. So they're not there, but they falling little by little down that pecking order, as they were right up in that top 4 at one point, but they're falling and they're falling and they're falling. So let's see if February is going to be a positive result, you know, for Lenny Hyde. Yeah. Next up we have Cumberland versus Tivoli. Wow. Another team that played really excellent last season at home. Yeah, I'm gonna give you a little stats on Cumberland at home, you know, last season. So last season at home at Effortville Community Center, Cumberland has played 12 games at home. Yeah, they only conceded 3 goals. The only team to beat Cumberland at home last season, it was Arborview. I think that was a 1-0 victory. Yeah, and I think it was match day 3 of last season where they lost their only game at home last season. And remember, they had the best defensive record last season, with only conceded 15 goals, and that's how Cumberland make it to the top 6 last season. Yeah, and also at home they have scored 14, and again, not a team that's going to score 5-0, 4-0, 3-0 against team. They would look to score 1 or 2 goals and then close shop. Yeah, it was very intriguing down there at Effortville under, you know, Enterprise last season, but I don't know what went wrong. But I saw Umberland have lost a few players. They lost a few pieces, you know, over the transfer window. So I don't know if it's because of that, but Newman down there, Vassarinas, let's see if he can gather that Umberland new shape. Hope they can gather that defensive stability, that I must say that discipline at the back at the Effortville as they coming up against one of the highest scoring team in the league, Tivoli Garden, you know. But another thing, you know, the stats, you know, for Umberland at Effortville Community Center, they have 7 clean sheets. So they conceded 3 goals, they scored 14 and had 7 out of 12 games of clean sheets. So that's very important. That's what, around 3/4 of their games they didn't concede at home. So Vassarinas is very key to make Effortville a fortress again. When teams come there, they don't want to play them at Effortville Community Center. You know, once Umberland was in the league, when they got promoted, from then until now, it's always that little fierce battle with them at Effortville Community Center. But this season at home, Umberland have only got 2 clean sheets. They only scored 6 goals and they have conceded 9. So they have a -3 at home this season. Not a good record, not a very good record, and they only won 2 games, and drew 2 and lost 2. So they need to start to pick up results at home, and they need to start do what they did last season at home if they want to make a push for that top 6. As you know, their game against Tivoli will play at Effortville Community Center. Remember, Tivoli Garden is the only team in the league to score, I think, 3+ goals over 5 times this season. So when they're scoring in bulk. Remember, Tivoli, they winning games, but you know, sometimes they tend to fall off a little bit and draw games and all of that. Some unnecessary games. Saw the 3 points that they dropped, you know, at Anthony Spalding Sports Complex against Montego Bay. So let's see if they can do a back-to-back again win in the Premier League yet again against Umberland. Won't be easy, but Vassarinas should get some positive results. He should get some positive from this game, especially the game that they played against Moulins, where you know they showed a little bit of fight, they showed a little bit of hunger when they 3-0 down and came back to score 2 goals and almost got that 3rd goal to draw the game 3-3. So moving on from Umberland, so we're going to move on to the TV game, Cavalier versus Lime Art. You remember when these 2 teams played at Jackson, it was a 1-1 show. Cavalier got that late penalty, you know, controversial penalty, but Kevin Graham, you know, got that goal to put Lyman in front for a long time. I think they scored in the first 5 minutes, the first open 5 or 10 minutes of the game. It was a set piece, and his header was the one that put Lyman in front, but couldn't manage to hold on to that victory. You know, as that game would have been their first victory in the top flight league. But as I said, controversy. Cavalier got a penalty in the last minute of the game, and that game drew 1-1. So going into this game, as I was saying, you know, in the intro, Lyman should have a little bit of confidence here. I don't think Lyman will get many opportunities against Cavalier, as you know, Cavalier only conceded 9 goals, one of the meanest defense, you know, in the league. And Cavalier last win that they got in the Premier League, it was a shutout. And guess what? All 3 games that they won, their last 3 games that they won, I think they have won 3 games out of 4, as they drew that one against Tivoli. So their last 3 games that they won, they scored 3 goals, and all those games won 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. So Cavalier on that side is not scoring at that goals. If I am, you know, Varney Clark or Louis Pursuit, you know, I'm telling my team to go at Cavalier. They're not scoring. If you can get 1 or luckily get 2, you know, you never know. You just never know. If Cavalier conceded 2 in a game, you just never know what can happen after there. But Lyman should have something to positive, as this is their first time going into a game, you know, on the back of a victory, and that was against Treasure Beach, you know. But have a little stats, you know. Lyman have only kept 2 clean sheets this season, you know, 2 clean sheet. Match day 1 when they drew, I think it was at Jackson against Montego Bay, 0-0. and also match day 8 against Mo Lions. That was a surprising one. Yeah, that was a surprising one where they drew the game 0-0. And remember, I think they only drew 3 games, and the other games that they drew, it was against Cavalier 1-1. And Lyman have conceded 32 goals of the season, while Cavalier have only conceded 9. So it's very important. So we have the best defensive team, and we have the worst defensive team in the league going up against each other, and we have one of the best attacking team against the worst team that conceded goals in the second half of gameplays, as they tend to always break down in the second half. And I'm going to give you the stats of how many goals Lyman have actually conceded in the second half of a game. Yeah. So moving on, Mo Lions United versus Portmore. This game going to be another interesting game. It's going to be a very interesting game also for Portmore. Portmore is coming off a back of a 1-1 draw against their fierce rival Dunfermline, while Mo Lions have gave up a late goal at Jacksal, to let Mount Pleasant come back to draw the game 1-1 by Sule Makala. But I must say, this is a new form of a Mo Lions team under Jermaine Thomas, especially that midfield too, that double pivot. I think Javan Brown, the one that scored the goal against Mount Pleasant, he always have a lot of energy. He have that bite, he have that extra sparks in the middle. And whenever he's playing in that double pivot in that 4-4-2, he is the one that always lead the press. So it's going to be very important also for Mo Lions to keep the width area very lacking, as Portmore tend to play that 3-5-2 formation, sometimes 3-4-3. Yeah, but they like to play that 3 in the back and use, sometimes they have Okilo Howard on the right side, and more likely they're going to have Emilia Rosu, on the left hand side, bumming up forward. I think he have 2 or 3 goals so far this season. The likes of Stevie Young is scoring goals. Shevani Walsh have been quiet for the last couple of games, but very difficult team to beat Portmore, as Portmore is one of those teams that they yet to lose a game. I think they on a run. Portmore is on a run. Portmore is really on a run. But the last time these two teams played, Mo Lions, have lost that game 2-0. I was at that game at Ferdinand Park, and where Mo Lions kind of break down in that game, the midfield battle. They lost the midfield battle, and they also lost their shape on the wing a lot of time, as I think one of the goals that Okilo Howard scored, in that game, it came from the wing here, where the ball came over from the left and go all the way onto the right, and he went behind the Mo Lions defender on the back post, and he squeezed that one in. But I must say, it's very important for Mo Lions to keep their shape and don't let Portmore overpower the wing areas, as they tend to do a lot of times. But Mo Lions have scoreless in their last 2 games against Portmore. They haven't scored against the team in 2 games, and I think Mo Lions have only beat Portmore twice, in around 8 games that they played, 8 head-to-head. So it's not many times they get positive results in these fixtures. But this is a new Mo Lions team looking for that top 6. They also looking for that top 6 run, but I think they're too far away. I think they have dropped some reckless points, in the build-up from match day 1 until match day 18. They lost, and they gave up a few winning points, especially when leading, over teams. But it's going to be a very difficult one for Mo Lions, man. It's just going to be a very difficult one, as Portmore is keeping tack with Cavalier, at the top of the table. Next up, Veer versus Waterhouse. Wow. So Waterhouse have lost at home against Cavalier in their last game 1-0, and this is the games that Waterhouse tend to bounce back from teams that below them, teams, the weaker opposition. When they Waterhouse lose against big teams, they are most of the time they bounce back, either draw or they get a result. So let's see if the team from Jerusalem can beat Veer. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Veer not going to play at Wembley Centre, as they're going to play at Anthony Spalding Sports Complex, as this is the first game of a Monday Night Football. But Waterhouse, they needed a win, and Waterhouse have averaged 1.3 goal a game against Veer. So more likely Waterhouse might find a back after net, but I don't know. I just don't know. But moving on, Arbaview versus Mount Pleasant. Wow, this won't be easy. You know why? Because Mount Pleasant, you know, is on a little run. They're not playing well, but that win that Arbaview got over Umberland, that 4-2 game, that was a very impressive one, you know, for Arbaview, especially searching for that late surge, you know, for that top 6. I think Arbaview is what, 4 or 5 points, you know, behind Waterhouse, who's in that last playoff spot. Yeah, but they can get this result. I know they can get a positive result. You know, Arbaview team is a team that's they're really good. They have quality cores of players, but they just tend not to get the positive results on the field for most of their games. And sometimes they tend to have their discipline in the middle of the park is really poor. But I must say, that game that they played against Umberland at Seria A, where they won 4-2, what they did, they overpowered the Umberland team on the wing and make third man running off the ball a lot of times. And you know, the team, when you have a team that have a lot of players running off the ball, third man running, opponent team, it's hard to defend players like that. As you know, Arden scored a goal like that where the ball was on the right and he was continuous run on the left and the ball just find him somewhere on that left hand side and he got the goal. It's the same of one of the other goal with Joshua Anglin. Yeah, he made the pass in the midfield, he started the build up, and guess what, he got the ball in the box. So Arbaview have done a lot of that in their last game. But Mount Pleasant, come on, let us can this Monday Night Football, you know, in the complex be really interested? Can you guys give us some performance, man? Give us some performance. As that game that you came back to draw against Mullines, that game was very stale. It was like a stale biscuit. Yeah, so Mullines nearly got that 3 points, but Mount Pleasant, man, put in a performance. So much quality players. Yeah, Shaquille Bradford, you remember, you is the man that they brought in to score the goals, so you have to score your goals. You got around 2 to 3 clear opportunities, you know, against Mullines, and you didn't finish it. But Mount Pleasant is looking to stay in put, you know, around that top 3 where Cavalier and Portmore and themselves. Mount Pleasant is looking to kind of drift away, but you know, Arnett Garden and Tivoli Garden is right there, as you know, the top 5 teams in the league right now. They are the one that looking to, one of those 5 teams more likely might win the league as they play, you know, but you just never know what's going to happen in the JPL. But you know, I've come to the end of the Jamaican Premier League preview show. So people, remember, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe if you're new. Yeah, bless upon yourself. Salute.